Hello Tarnish, welcome to the PvP train cam, and today I'd like to show you guys my invader build at level 20. I think at level 50. I think I found the best invasion set for a low level, mid level invader. First of all, with that, let's talk about levels and weapon upgrades. So I have my weapon at plus 12. None of them go above plus 12. My special weapon, which is the lion great bow I have, goes to, if we do times 2.5, it goes to 11. 11? Or am I saying stuff with my ass? It goes to plus 10. It goes to plus 10 because 8 times 2.5, 4 times 2.5, that's 8, plus 2, that's 10. And if I would go to plus 5, I'll be above 12, I'll be at 12.5. So yeah, I just tick that plus 4 with the lion great bow. Everything else is plus 12. It's a dexterity build, so we see here 34 dexterity, 39 vigor. I tried to min-max the strength I need to wield most of my weapons. I actually have some point wasted into strength, because if we're having a little look, my highest strength required weapon is 18, is this one, and my strength is at 19, but that's okay because I have some great bows that I'm using that do scale a little bit with strength, so it's not that much wasted points. Let's go also a little bit over the talisman I'm using. So Radagon Seal, this one you get it at 4 Farad. It's very easy to access, you can just right there, you don't need to kill any enemy to get there. You get this seal. What does it do? It basically gives you plus 5 points in every stat. So this is pretty big. This is actually huge. If you look at my stat here, it gives me 5 points in vigor, endurance, strength, and dexterity. So everything you need for a melee oriented character. Usually this item was reserved to only melee character. You also have the Marika, Sword Seal, and Scar Seal, which are giving you points, but in Faith, Intelligence, Mind, and I believe Arcane, but don't quote me on that. Next up is the Earthree's Favor. So this one you can also get it to plus 2 if you go at the end of the game. There's a place where you can grab it plus 2, actually plus 1 also, I forgot what it is. This is raising a little bit my vigor and my stamina and equip load, so I can have a little bit of poise, but of course the goal here with this build is not going to be wielding huge weapon and training with other weapons. I'm using also the Spear Talisman. Why did I start to use that? And those rings, basically I just swap them back and forth depending on the situation. However, this one I ended up using it a lot more than I thought I would, and this one I often forgot to switch it. I could switch it to Wing Sword Insignia, or if I want to be sneaky, I'm using one of those in order for them not to see me. Or I'm just using the prosthetics where hair room to raise my dexterity. But this is just like the overbuild. And why do I say that this is the ultimate in low invasion build? Is because you know, as the game comes out, we're all trying to find new technique, and I've been known in the community for complaining a lot about magics. I made a video that close to 7,000 views now, which is me just hating on mages in general. You can watch it, it's pretty funny, but some people were very upset about it. The thing, why am I bringing this up, is because I didn't know how to deal with it. I was just getting stun locked to magic. There was nothing I could do to defend myself from people spamming me from miles away. Where here is the trick. First of all, we have Thunderbolt. This is an Ash of War that you can equip to most weapon, and it just basically does a Thunderbolt. It does a lot of damage. It does about a quarter of the health of your opponent, a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on how much health your opponent has. I'm not even sure what it scales with. I don't even know what the damage of the Ash of War does, and it seems like there's a bug or something where the Ashes of War do way more damage than the weapon themselves, although the Ash of War are a lot easier to land than, you know, using your weapon. So you have those range attack. I also messed a little bit around with bows. So I'm using the mainly I'm using the albinoric bow plus 12 with some fire arrow. Those are the easiest one to buy. The other one you need to craft them, or I haven't found a vendor that sells them. So why a bow? It sounds very gimmicky, because if you're a Dark Souls 3 player, you know that bows, except the Millwood bow, are pretty bad. There were no way to make them work. Or here's the thing. Using a bow is actually really good in this game. Why? Because when you jump attack, you release really quickly. You release your arrow really quickly. So you do about 100, 200 damage to your opponent, depending. Usually it's about 100, 150. But also it stacks with this talisman, which gives you arrow sting talisman, which gives you plus 10 damage on your arrows, which is not negligible. And it stacks with the spear talisman, so if they are attacking you and you hit them with an arrow, they get counter damage, so they get even more damage. I'm not exactly sure about the number there. Someone that's a bit more knowledgeable with the mathematic will be able to tell you guys. So yeah, the bow, so it's actually not bad at all. I put on it the Ash of War and enchanted shot. So this, what that does is basically it makes your arrows shoot on steroids. So it makes them shoot with more damage, and it has a lot of tracking too. It shoots faster, more damage, and it has a lot of tracking. So yeah, so it's a nice plus. It does consume some of your FP bars, so you gotta be careful with not wasting on it. So you do have some range option with the bows, right? You can just, if you see a mage starting to pepper you, you can also pepper him back, you know, be smart about it. Like, don't do it at the same time as him, just wait for him to use his spell and then use the arrows. We also have the great bow, the lion great bow. So this arrow is the arrow from Radon, right? It does quite a bit of damage, but the key feature here is not so much, it's gonna be rare that you're gonna hit people with the bow, because it takes a lot of time to load and people can see it coming, you know, they see you with your big bow loaded. You cannot do like you can do with the other arrow to fire in the air, right? It doesn't work, but you can do that. You can use the Ash of War, and that thing will pepper the zone and get quite some damage done. If they're not moving, they will get damaged. So those are just like tools that you have at your disposal to chip away your opponent, right? You cannot approach really the invasion how we used to have. You need to be very methodical about it. If you don't see any enemies around, be very careful. Be very careful how you engage when you engage them. So the bows are a good tool, a very good tool in order to do some damage from afar. So that being said, let's talk about the weapons. So those are just the option before we really start the invasion. So when you start the invasion, you see them from afar, you see them not moving, they're spamming spell at you. You can just use your bow, be evasive, throw some arrows here and there, get some hit. If you see that they start to strafe around, like start to give up this technique. So what do we have else? All this column that I put right here is just weapon with the Ash of War Bloodhound Step. So you can duplicate your Ash of War with the Lost Ash of War. And what is Bloodhound Step? Well, it's basically a must-have for Invader. It's a tool that makes like a quick step. So if you guys know about quick step, this is the weapon art that's mostly on oh, that's a kick. Fuck. Okay, never mind. That's a weapon art that's an Ash of War that's mostly on daggers, right? But here is the catch. The Bloodhound Step is a quick step on steroid, and it travels really far. Like, it travels really far. It has a ton of invincible frames, so people cannot hit you as you're casting it and during your movement. So it's such a great tool. You'll see me using in those invasion video, in the rolling clips that we're probably seeing right now. You will see me use that and being able to be very, very evasive. Like, as I'm getting some hit done, they're closing in on me and I'm out already. And you can even traverse whole zones. So let's say if they're coming here, but you need to go in front, right? They're blocking the way. You can just kind of be evasive, do some dash here and there, and then you're behind them without them even realizing what just happened. This Ash of War is the #1 tool for any invader. Like, really, any invader needs to use it. This is a life-saving grace, and this is the best counter to magic because you can dodge every spell with this. You can dodge every spell. You can close the gap on your opponent while they're casting spell and punish them with a rolling. I mean, yeah, it is a rolling R1. I think it might be a crouch R1, but you see what I mean. Like, you can close the gap, punish them right away, and it's just such a great tool. So how I offer, usually I have a couple weapon that are dual wielding. The bread and butter, really, when I want to get shit done, when I want to be serious, I'm using the cross Naginata with the lance ring, and I'm also using the winged sword insignia for extra damage. What that talisman does is basically ups your damage by maybe 10%, maybe 15%, just by landing many hits on your opponent. So after 2 L1, you already have the thing activated. And with the counter damage, so let's say you bait them, they come to you, you attract them, then you do the L1, they take so much damage, guys. It is a very, very strong tool. When I want to fuck around, I want to have fun, I'm using the double fashion. Double fashion is a great tool, does a lot of damage, people don't really expect it. You can just spam in their face L1, and very often people underestimate and they think they can poise through, but you can just keep on mashing L1 and they will be dead or very close to be dead before they even realizing. And one of them has the Ash of War Bloodhound Step, and the other one has another Ash of War, so Redmond Flame. This Ash of War does quite a bit of damage, very surprising, travels quite far. I'm also using double katana with bleed. One of them has bleed, one of them has frost. One of them has bloodhound step with frost infused. So I'm basically bleeding them and frosting them. So yeah, just really good, very good overall. But really, the layout here is almost perfect. Of course, there's still a lot of various weapons that we need to use, that we need to try. But so far, that build has been working fantastically for me. Like, being like, honestly, I'm barely losing invasions now because of the bloodhound step tool, doing a lot of damage, being very evasive, chipping them away from the bow. Like, they start to give up. Like, honestly, the bow seems like a meme, like a joke, but it does get the job done, guys. It does work. It is powerful. You can look at that. You can shoot people from super far. Like, of course, I'm not doing that much damage to this guy because he's pretty far from me. But if I use the enhanced shot, I do more damage, and it has tracking too. Remember. So yeah, if your opponents are over there and they're kind of running strafing will not be enough to get away from the enhanced shot. And yeah, plus that, if they're getting close, you can even play with the claymore if you like this weapon. I really love the claymore, as you've seen in some of my videos, and it's just super good. I also have just a couple more things on this build. I'm using the Mog Great Rune. So what that does, basically, it buffs your NPC monster, you know, like all this PvE. If you pop it's really hard to explain. I'll make a proper video explaining how it works. Basically, when you invade with the rune active, you get a little item. You pop this item next to other enemies, and these enemies get extra HP. You also get life back when they get killed. So it's just like a great tool for invaders. And really, I mean, again, now the Bloodhound Step is your bread and butter. Are they going to nerf it? Probably. I think it's a bit too strong right now. I think in duels it's also quite obnoxious to play against it. And I mean, just imagine also if when ganker starts to pick up the pace and they are also using the Bloodhound Step on you, it's not going to be a very beautiful sight to see. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I just really wanted to showcase this build because it's pretty much complete now. Of course, we can play around with some more swaps, a lot of other technique to discover. But yeah, if you guys are looking for a good build for mid-level invasions, this is perfect. And okay, another reason why it's so good is because you can invade in so many different places. So in the Kaelid area, back-to-back invasion, like no waiting time, you get invasion right away. You also get some in Liurna and in the academy. It's a bit sometimes you have some waiting time, because you're a bit high and your weapons are quite upgraded for this level. But yeah, Altus Plateau, non-stop invasion. Capital Lindel, non-stop invasion. Volcano Manor, non-stop invasions. So Mount Gilmere, non-stop invasion. So yeah, guys, this is like, in my opinion, one of the best builds too. You can also have some action in Limgrave, but it's quite more rare. I think if you want to invade in this area, it's really like twinking season. You need to be a big twink, or you need to go to 120, I think. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the presentation of this build. Let me know if any of you guys have used it. Just a quick thing about also the menu. So why do I put all the rows of weapon with how it's called, with Bloodhound Step on top? Is because let's say I'm using a bow, right? I'm using a bow. I'm having my bow. I'm shooting. They're closing the gap on me. I can quickly switch to one. So how do I do? You press, so you shoot your arrow. Let's say you shoot your arrow, they're coming at you. Press option equipment, and you press R2, cross option, and you're out. So you just translate the button input from your input device if you're on mouse and keyboard, if you're on Xbox, but it still works, like it's the same shit. I would really recommend you guys start to learn to hard swap. So basically a soft swap is when you switch from one weapon to the other like that. The problem with that technique is that, let's say if I want to use let's say I want to use my double Nigatana thingy, now I'm fat rolling because I have my weapon here. Or even if I have this, now I'm fat rolling, so I need to take out armor, so I need to take out poison, I need to take out how it's called, absorption. I don't want to lose on absorption. I want to have as much absorption as I can. So hard swapping allow you to do that directly from your menu without breaking your poise or anything. Well, here I'm still fat rolling because I choose the wrong weapon, but you get the idea. So it will be more like that. It's a bit hard to work first with the input, especially with the option button being so small on the PS5 controller, even the PS4 controller. But I would definitely suggest you guys are working towards getting good at this. And that's pretty much it. I think I went over the build, but just tons of fun. Super strong build, super strong build. Yeah, if you guys have any question, leave them in the comment section below. I answer to every comment, and I see you, my fellow tarnished, very soon in the lands between. Bye bye.